Okay, finishing out these September readings with air signs. We will start with Gemini and then Libra and Aquarius. So Gemini, for the month of September, what do you guys have in store? Gemini for September. Okay, right off the bat, we have a few reversed cards here, which show me that some of you may feel a little bit out of balance right now, maybe a little cloudy. The Magician reversed here, the Princess of Wands reversed, and the Eight of Pentacles reversed. This shows me that some of you might have been working on something and it feels like it's paused right now. It feels like it's not going in the direction that you thought it would. It doesn't mean that that's not going to work out. It may mean that you need to pivot, or it may mean that you just need to be patient right now. As we're entering Mars retrograde, this Mars retrograde is going to last until November, and during that time, it's just not going to be a very eventful, as far as progress goes, time for many people. So just know that. And then you also have the Nine of Cups come out, and it came out a bit sideways here, so I'm going to interpret this as some of you might feel like the rest of your life's a bit cloudy, but your romantic life is allowing you to kind of still feel like you can play and you can enjoy things and feel blissful as ever, while other people might be focusing too much attention on romance right now, might be focusing too much attention on a relationship, and you may be neglecting some other things. I also want to say with this Eight of Pentacles, if you're waiting for something to happen and you're working on something, be aware of obsessing over something and like trying to rush it or trying to almost be too much of a perfectionist with it. It may be better for you to just totally step away from a project for a little bit and then come back to it, versus trying to keep changing it and keep going into it, where you might not see much progress in that. And specifically for anyone who's working on like a creative project. Okay. What else for Gemini? I'm going to go off of this Nine of Cups and see if there's anything else that wants to come out on top of that. This will be more for like romantic life, little home life, play life for Gemini for September. Okay. Okay. So you guys have the Chariot that's come out here. And then you have the Hermit. Okay, these are contradicting each other in some ways, and so you might find that some of you are feeling like you are totally ready to go in something, or that something's just happening. Like, again, some of you may be in a new relationship here. At the same time, some of you need your space. You need to take some space to yourself. So what I'm really sensing is like FOMO, like fear of missing out with somebody, fear of missing out on something right now, but you really need to be able to have your own space and decide how you're feeling and what you really want to be doing right now. Some of you might feel like your life is actually kind of active right now, even though everything going on around us is kind of slow, and you may feel like you're missing the time to kind of center and go in right now, even though you may feel very called toward that. So if some of you have a lot going on right now, this Hermit is a sign that you might need to take time to kind of center yourself and go in a little bit. And let me just pull one more card on the Hermit here. Okay. Five of Swords, yeah. So this is showing me that some of you might need to just sit down with your budget, sit down with your plan, any logistics that are going on in your life, and just take the time to think through any decisions you need to make. Take the time to make sure that all of your checks and balances are where they need to be. Balancing things out that, for instance, if you're spending too much on something, or if you're spending too much time on something, finding a way to balance that out a bit right now would be very helpful. And then let's see what else you guys have going on. I can tell that some of you are just kind of anxious, and that's just makes sense right now. I think we're all a little anxious. And then a lot of you are going through a transit of the North Node this year, with Gemini, with the North Node being in Gemini. So there can be a lot of major things happening for Geminis this year, but it may feel a little frustrating because everything else is kind of slow. So just hold it out for 2020. Wait till 2021. There's more coming. Okay, and then the Six of Wands reversed here. This kind of speaks to what I was just saying. Some of you may just be feeling a little doubtful, like you don't really know if you're on the right track right now. I want to really just say to kind of wait it out, sit it out, see where you end up in a few months, and maybe you don't need to make any major decisions right now. But again, this Hermit card is really speaking to me for you guys of some of you just might need to get out of the conversation with other people and get into your own conversation with yourself. Like not putting as much weight on what other people are saying and what other people are thinking, but what you are feeling, what you are thinking is going to guide you in the right direction. And then the King of Cups, and this King of Cups for you guys, this is showing me that some of you may feel a little bit like you don't have a purpose right now, or maybe there's an opportunity around you but you don't totally see it, is what I'm getting with this card. But what this speaks to is there may be a strong presence in your life. There may be a male in your life that may be new in your life, or maybe just having a very strong presence in the decisions that you're making. This can be a good influence for your motivation, but this can also be a sign that you may need to think a little bit more about how your purpose is showing up every day. How do you feel like you're contributing to where you are? How do you feel like you're contributing to your local community? Anything that allows you to feel like you're really helping people, or you're contributing in some way. I think this would be really good for your self-esteem, Geminis. Okay, Libras. What is going on for Libras this month? Let's see. Okay, so you guys just had a bunch of cards come out at once, and I don't always keep this, but as I was clearing the cards from the last reading, the Emperor kept coming out for you guys, and so these cards feel like they're really for you here. And quite a lot. This might show me that a lot of you might have a lot of things in your life going on right now. Right now, many of you are probably experiencing this opposition from Mars in Aries, which can cause disruption, especially because Mars is going retrograde. It's been square to Saturn, and it's opposite your sign, which can create tension from that retrograde. So a lot of different things here. The stuff that's sticking out to me is that you have the Star card, and then you also have the Tower card coming up. And then you also have the Devil, and then the reversed Emperor. So these are just some major themes playing out. These are some major themes. This shows me that a lot of you have a lot going on, and that you may feel like things are totally contradicting themselves. You may feel like all of your effort is just not working. Nothing is kind of leading you where you think you're supposed to go right now. There may be a lot of external circumstances in your life. Some of you may be dealing with some accidents, or some serious issues in your life that you're working through. When we see the Devil coming up here and then the reversed Emperor, these are very powerful cards, and the Tower as well. And when we see all this power here, I'll get into some of these other card meanings, but when we see all of this power here, it just shows me that a lot of you need to kind of get through what you're going through right now. Like that's the focus. Just get through what you're going through. Stay strong, use your strength, get through this situation or this accident. It's going to be okay. You just have to kind of get through it. And for September, I would say as well, for anyone who doesn't resonate with that, be careful in September. Just don't, it's not really the time to take major risks. It's a time to make changes if you need to. It's a good time to make changes. Any kind of big changes in your life where you want to take on something that is going to help you in the long run with something, education-wise, health-wise, environment-wise, like changing your living situation so that you are healthier and happier that's a great time to do that. Some of you might be really dealing with some addiction or the need to break a habit. Changing your environment would be really helpful for this. If you obviously can't change your environment right now, that's a luxury for many people, and especially right now, just switching your environment up, changing the furniture around, buying plants, adding new scents, candles, or something like that can help to kind of shift things around for you guys. And then this other intense card that you guys have is the Star, and this is a good card in this spread, which shows me that a lot of you are really involved with your purpose right now. So that can come out a few different ways, but involved with your purpose in the sense that some of you may be doing some deeper reflection, Some of you may be doing some calculating as to how you want the next few years of your life to go. Some of you may be really making action in your life and taking steps in your life to put yourself first. And if that resonates, stay on that track. This is a sign that you're on the right path. The Ace of Cups here, you have the Ace of Cups reversed, and then you have the Princess of Cups reversed. These are kind of speaking to me a little bit together. In one situation, some of you may have just had somewhat of a failure, somewhat of a, like, maybe you made a decision too fast, you jumped into something too fast, you took something in a different meaning than it was supposed to be taken in. And some of you might just need to recover from that a little bit, kind of get up off the ground in a sense, and it may have to do with money or career, or something practical. You may have tried something, it didn't work really well, and now you have to kind of go back to square one. And then the Princess of Cups here reversed. This is a sign that some of you may just be a little bit out of touch with your intuition. You may be more in touch with your kind of some childhood emotions, for instance. And the Six of Cups here too, having the Six of Cups next to this card shows me that some of you may be a little bit nostalgic right now, a little bit in the background of what's going on. You may be going back into your history, back into your past, reflecting on some things. And what I want to say with this is, like, nostalgia's good, nostalgia's okay. Go back, process some things, look at some things, but don't hold on to anything too tight. And don't take things too intensely in your present life. For instance, if you're going back and processing something, or just like remembering something, or just being nostalgic with something, try not to confuse it with like current day emotions or intuition. It's more so like you're processing old emotions. They're not new. Just remember that if you're going back in time, be aware of old things feeling new. And this is pretty common. I've gotten this for a few different signs throughout these readings for September. And so that shows me that this retrograde energy in September of Mars retrograde, and then we have other planets still in retrograde. A lot of that theme is probably going back and processing things or fixing things before moving forward. So kind of speaking a little bit toward, if some of you are feeling like you're hitting a wall or you're not getting where you're trying to go, just allow things to play out for the next couple of months and for September, and see if you can kind of keep this North Star, keep the star in your vision. It doesn't mean that you're working on maybe what you want to be working on right now, but you know where you want to go. So just keep your vision, even if you're not seeing it show up in tangible form yet. And then on the bottom of the card here, we have the Judgment reverse. This is really speaking to what I was just saying, as far as don't put too much pressure on what you're not doing right now. Like, don't beat yourself up because you're not making everything happen that you want to make happen right now. If you have your vision, that's good enough right now. Use your vision. Alter it if you need to, but I don't think you need to make many changes to your vision. I think it's more so just about kind of breathing through the process of going toward what you want and not judging yourself for it. You don't need to judge yourself so much. Everyone's going through struggles at every point of someone's life. There's always some kind of struggle. So you're not, this bad person because you might be struggling right now. You're not any lesser of a version of yourself because of that. That's just a part of your life right now, is struggling. So for those of you who feel that way, so be compassionate with yourself. I'm sensing that some of you are asking about love, so let me see if I can pull anything for that here. With Mars retrograde in your 7th house of relationships, this is not really the time to like expect a relationship to form perfectly, but some of you may be getting some closure on past relationships. Okay, Justice reversed here. Some of you may be dealing with some logistical things in a relationship. If something's ended, you may be dealing with like moving, divorce even. Some of you may be dealing with, okay, and then we have these 2 cards hidden here for you. The 3 of Swords and then the 9 of Swords. This is really, for a love pool here, this is really just saying that you're healing. A lot of you are probably healing wounds, healing relationship wounds. Again, with Mars in your 7th house, right now, this is a time to be processing old relationships, to find closure, and if you have something logistical with someone, like if you have something that you're still like attached to with someone, maybe like shared bills or some kind of agreement, this is a good time to get closure on this, to close things up, to wrap things up. And then with these two cards here, this is just really speaking to like, if someone hurt you, you may feel drawn to them right now. You may feel like you're energetically being pulled to them, but it's not really about being with them, and you probably know that. It's more so about allowing yourself to find closure and heal, and it may not have anything to do with their actual presence, but more so like you processing them. Hey Libra, have a good September. Lastly here, Aquarius. How are you guys doing? Aquarii for September. Okay, already got some stuff popping out here. The Hierophant and the reversed Knight of Swords. So right away, this is showing me that this is a great card to pull for you guys. A lot of you might just be really deep into learning something, working on a project, just kind of in your own zone of like learning. Aquarius placements in general, I would say here. And I love this, like the visual on this. I love this whole deck, but I love the visual on this because this is kind of really representative of how I'm feeling this for you, where it's like you're at the center of your own pyramid there, like you're focusing on your own path. And a lot of you might have a lot of things kind of coming into you, new information coming into you right now. That said, with this Knight of Swords reversed, this is a sign of, or more so maybe a warning to just not rush anything right now. If you're working on a project, if you're thinking about releasing something or launching something or starting something, don't rush it. You take in as much information as you can. You guys are good at that, but don't rush it just because you're ready for something to happen. Whatever project you're working on or whatever you're learning about, respect its own timetable of the information that you're learning there. And then, this is interesting, this just came out for Libra here. And I guess that sometimes we have the same elements going through the same things. But yeah, this just came out for Libra. So the Star and the Devil card here as well. This is showing me that a lot of you are on the right path right now. You're on the right path. You're headed to where you need to go. In fact, I'm getting the sense that some of you Aquarius placements and Aquarius suns here are having an exhale. You're having an exhale right now. You may feel like you've just recently started to spark something in you again and ignite something. Again, you may be starting a new project or getting back into an old project. You may be working on a lot of different things as well, which is not uncommon for Aquarius. But you're on the right path. You're in the right place. And then this Devil card, just watch out for any kind of addictions right now. Watch out for any kind of mental traps that you're letting yourself get into. It could be around the stuff that you're working on, like believing that it's going to go a certain way or that's not going to go a certain way. See if you can detach yourself from any like mental patterns. But at the same time, this is coming out a little bit separate from this for me, where it's more so saying that some of you just might need to watch out for any addictions right now, any addictive qualities, anything that you're using every day. Maybe if you're using something every day, like drugs, alcohol, or food, television, anything like that, sex even, maybe taking a break to kind of detach from it a little bit would be helpful. And then let's see, Aquarius, what else is going on for Aquarius? All right. Okay, Aquarius, we have the Death card here. The Moon card, you guys have a lot of intensity, a lot of major cards in your spread here. And then the Queen of Pentacles reverse. This Queen of Pentacles feels a little bit separate here. This feels very much like it has to do with your emotions and your relationship. The Moon and the Death card here. Some of you are really changing right now. You're changing, you're shedding a layer, you're letting something go. Things are just in a transformation process, and I'm really getting that this has to do with your relationships. Things are in a transitional process. Some of you might be in between relationships, and it might not even be a focus right now, and that's probably for the best. but some of you are just really changing the way that you're viewing relationships, that you're viewing a relationship, how you're showing up in a relationship. You might be shedding layers and becoming more vulnerable with somebody right now. And then the moon here, the moon is a sign that some of you might be separated from someone right now. Some of you might be like maybe were with someone and now you're not with them. And I'm not getting that it was a bad relationship. I'm getting that it was probably a good friendship for those of you who I'm channeling this for. But the moon here is really speaking to you need to reflect on that relationship. You need to reflect on those lessons that you learned. You have some space here to be by yourself. You have some space here to kind of be by yourself and hear your own wisdom, hear your own intuition. So this is a good time for those of you who are out of a relationship or who have transitioned away from a relationship. This is a good time to reflect and to really think about what you want in love, what you want in your love life. And even for those who are in a relationship, this is still a good sign that it's a good time for you. It's like the way that you view relationships is changing. So it's a good time to allow the space to kind of process those changes for you. And then the Queen of Pentacles here, this is just speaking to taking care of your environment, taking care of your health. A lot of Aquarius tend to not always, I would say Aquarius men more so, a lot of Aquarius men, but Aquarius can kind of go this way too, generally. Can neglect your health. You can neglect your physical body sometimes. When your mental body is always active, but your physical body may be neglected sometimes. This reverse Queen of Pentacles is just speaking to the importance of your physical body, the importance of your physical environment. So don't ignore anything that's coming up physically for you right now. If you're having some kind of ailment or some kind of warning in your body, this is a sign to listen to it. I'm getting dental issues for some of you. Others might be dealing with something in your body alignment, maybe spinal stuff, chiropractic stuff. So don't ignore any health warnings that you're getting right now. And then on the bottom of your deck, we have the World reversed. And what I'm really getting with this for you guys is it has to do with seeing the big picture of things. You guys are really good at this, really good at seeing the big picture of something. Right now, you might be a little cloudy. You might not be seeing things fully. So just be aware that as you strive to get the biggest picture, it might not just be available to you right now. It's just a little bit in the distance. Maybe you can't see it yet. So if you're really putting pressure on yourself to be able to see everything clearly and fully right now, just be patient and allow time to reveal the full picture to you. I feel like there's one more card that wants to come out for you guys, or maybe one more theme for Aquarius for September. Some of you might be stepping into a real position of responsibility in your life right now. And that makes some sense here. We have the Nine of Wands. This is the last card that came out for you guys, and this is a message that you are in the last phase of what you're working toward. You're at the last part of it. You just got to get through it. You just got to get through this phase. There's a new chapter that's coming. A lot of you right now have planets in your 12th house. When we think of all the external planets, all the outer planets in Capricorn, that's in Aquarius's 12th house. So the 12th house deals with endings and healing. So this is very 12th house for me in this reading, where it's saying that don't expect the new chapter to begin right now. You're in the last pages of this last chapter. So finish what you need to finish, get through what you need to get through, and then there's a new start in sight. But you're at the end right now, so don't give up. Okay, Aquarius, have a great September.